with creatures on this earth and this vegetarian issue, is there a point where, well, firstly, is it a noble thing for mankind to resist eating fellow creatures, as in animals, etc.? And is there a defined point where it doesn't really matter, like something perhaps it doesn't have eyes or a real sentient feeling? This troubles me, this one. I don't mind eating oysters, actually, but I wonder about prawns sometimes.
When you, any of you, consistently hang around outside the vortex, it doesn't matter what you eat, you will not thrive. When any of you remain consistently inside the vortex, it doesn't matter what you will eat, you will thrive. So it's a vibrational thing. It's not what you're eating that's keeping you from your well-being. It's what you're thinking. It's the vibrational discord that is responsible. All day long we've been going on and on and on, and you will not hear us ever say that your well-being is contingent upon what you eat. It is upon your vibrational alignment. And when you are in the vortex, you will be inspired to the food that is best for you. One of the lovely things about the time and environment in which you all are living is that amongst the food that you have relatively easy access to is so much variety of ingredient or component that your physical body, which is a veritable chemical factory, can make magic from what you are eating. And so you could take anyone and present to them a relatively varied diet, and the cells of their body would figure out what to effectively do with it. But the discord that happens in so many physical apparatus is not because the cells have lost their way or because there is something wrong with the food that you are eating. It is that the things that you are thinking about and worrying about are keeping you in a position where you disallow your cells from functioning in the way that they would and could if you were not in a state of resistance. We will say it emphatically. It is resistance that causes disease and decline, and it is allowance that causes thriving. So now to the specifics of what you were asking. Of course, as you are moving through your life experience, you get to come to your own personal preferences, and through exposure to life you come to conclusions of things that you want and things that you don't want. And we just want you to understand that with all of that diversity that you were born into and that you were even born from, in other words, you did all not come forth with the same identical intentions. You came intending to have variety for the balance that is so beneficial to the whole. And so you have, over your personal experiences, put your personal preferences into your vortex of creation. And your personal preferences, one after the other, are not identical. So there are all of these different things that you have as individuals put into your vibrational reality. And it's not them being the same thing that is necessary for a global thriving. It is that you as an individual just cannot resist what you've put into your own vortex. In other words, you don't have to find some book, although there are plenty of people who want to write that book. You will never find the book that tells everyone the right thing to do for them. Because it isn't about the action, and it isn't about the eating, and it isn't about the ingredients. It is not about the food. It is about the alignment with who you are or not. It is about the vibrational discord or absence of it that equals the thriving or not that you are seeing around you, you see. So now, relative to the eating of animals, or it is an interesting, you get us into trouble every time we have a conversation, and Jerry and Esther get endless emails from people who are so concerned about the eating of meat or the treatment of animals. But we want to say to you that the beasts of your planet all come with an understanding of how they fit into the whole of things. And they come not only understanding that, but wanting to be part of that process. So many of the animals that are raised for consumption by humans would not even have the opportunity to be here in physical form if it were not for that market that summons them for that consumption.
You don't think they change their mind when they're going down that abattoirs line?
Never. And so there are those people who feel so unhappy about those animals that are being raised for consumption, and what they are actually saying to the cow or the chicken or the pig or the salmon or whoever it is that they are talking about. They're actually saying, I would rather that you had not had the experience of physical life than that it come to this end. And we say, the reason that they feel so emphatically that way about the animals is because they feel emphatically that way about their own life experience. There are so many people who have lost their connection to who they really are, that they're not loving the life that they're in. And until you stop dreading this death thing that doesn't exist, you will not ever really live, you see. The beast, Jerry and Esther for a while had chickens. They went to the pet store, or it was a feed store, and purchased 13 little chicks who had never known their mother. They were hatched in an incubator, and they brought them to their little farm in Texas and named them and fell in love with them and watched them expand. And one day, when one of the hens, they named her Renegade because she would not stay in their safe 5-acre parcels. She kept flying over the fence and playing in the neighbor's yard, who had a very big dog. A very big dog named Snuggles. So this very large dog, one day Jerry and Esther are sitting at the table, and Jerry gets this very strong impulse, and he goes outside quickly. Esther follows him, and sure enough, Esther tells Renegade every day, Renegade, you're going to end up being somebody's lunch if you don't stay home where you belong. But Renegade preferred freedom to bondage, and so she went there every day. And sure enough, Snuggles has a Renegade, and Renegade is hanging like a limp rag. She seems to be dead, and Snuggles seems to be very happy. And Jerry shouts through the fence, Snuggles, in a very condemning way. And Snuggles, who is a domesticated beast and therefore prone to guilt, dropped Renegade and ran home. And Renegade hit the ground, came back into her body, shook herself off, and came home. And Esther said, Abraham, we thought that Renegade was dead. And we said, no, she was just getting ready to be dead.
Oh, in other words, a resurrection for a moment.
Her consciousness had released, because no point in staying for the kill. Her consciousness released, and when the crises passed, she just returned, you see. And so the point of the story, silly as it is, and less important on the order of beasts as it seems to be. Jerry and Esther say, we don't eat our chickens, we eat strangers. Is that since there is no death, and the animals don't fear death, and they come back into consciousness quickly, and they adore life. All consciousness adores life and finds it on the leading edge to be particularly delicious, you see. And so humans from outside the vortex just get all kinds of screwy ideas about all of that.
Oh, you've made a very good night for me tonight when I eat out. Thank you very much. Thank you.